G'day, my name is David and I love my gardening. I get asked quite a lot of questions about composting and how I make my compost. I just want to do a quick video on my setup. I use old plastic, recycled plastic pallets that I get for free. These are made out of recycled plastic. I use a 4-bay system, as you see here. This is the first bay where my compost starts, where I start the process. So all my green waste, clippings, a real mixture of things just goes into here, and this kind of starts my process. I go through these number of bins. So what I'll do is, once this bin gets filled to the top, I'll then flip this bin into the next bay, which is normally open, and then I repeat the process. I flip that bay into the next bay, and then that bay into the next bay. And I do I flip these over about every 3 weeks. I'll turn the bay over. So 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks. So by 9 weeks, I normally have compost that's ready to go into the garden. Between each of these stages, what do? So I get my first lot of raw compost, things I've just collected from around the yard, green waste clippings, bits of plants, anything that can go into compost. The first time I flip it, so I flipped this one last weekend. When I flip this one, I make a compost lasagna. So I'll put some of the raw material from here. I'll put about 4 to 5 inches of compost, and then I'll put in a layer of cardboard. I'll also throw in some ash. This has gotten wet from the rain, but I've got a burn pile over the back there where I collect the ash. So I'll put in this lasagna, so 5 inches of the raw material, some cardboard, throw in some ash, then I'll put another 5 inches in. I'll also, if I'm not happy with the organic content, if I'm not happy with the amount of green matter in there, I will put in grass clippings, and I just layer this all the way up to the top. I then, very important, most important, critical part to making compost is, when you've made a layer, that 5 inches, and you put your cardboard and some ash in, you have to wet it. I have a 9-litre watering can, which I have beside me. I'll wet that layer and then put another 5 inches of soil in. I'll throw in some shredded cardboard or shredded paper. I also have, I mix in shredded paper, which I have from my office supplies. So I get a shredded paper, which is really good. It increases your surface area, moisture absorption, and the worms just go absolutely nuts for it. So layer it, water it, layer it, water it, layer it, water it. If you don't have moisture, you won't get breakdown, and you'll have compost that'll sit there. It'll be there 2 years later and it won't have broken down. Moisture is just critical to the process. So I'll let that sit for 3 weeks. I've got a temperature probe in here. This is just holding steady at the moment. It's not super hot. Like I said, I just turned it over last weekend. After 3 weeks, I'll then turn this into the next bay, which, this one will be empty because I would have flipped it into the next bay, obviously. When I do the flipping over process, I repeat what I've done in this bin here. I put in, usually I concentrate on more shredded cardboard than hard cardboard, but hard cardboard, you can see some over the back here. The worms just go nuts for it. As you turn this over, you'll see all the different insects, slaters and things that are in here. This is all part of the normal breakdown process that goes on in your compost. There's millipedes, there's all sorts of things in there. Don't have to go very far, and plenty of worms in there as well. So great, that's what you want to see. After 3 weeks, I then turn it over, usually the final time, so you can see bit of a difference in height. When you first do it, it breaks down, the volume actually will break down usually. The composting process, as it breaks down all the hard and organic matter, it gets to a lot smaller pile, and you can see that actually originally started as a pile higher than the top of those pallets. This batch in here is, for me, I'd be happy to put this straight in the vegetable patch, which I'll probably do next weekend. This just got a bit of some clippings on the top, but I bet if I turn this over under here, oh, here we go. It's just full of earthworms. So by this stage, the compost is teeming with earthworms. When we first turn it over, the first bins, there won't be any, but by the time you get to this final stage of composting, the earthworms just love it. So this is the black gold that you're after. I like it like a little bit raw. I don't mind there being a little bit of organic matter still in this. The plants just love it. But yeah, that's my 4-bin way I do my composting. Water in there, turn it over. Each time I turn it over, I add cardboard, I'll add organic matter. I'll even add a little bit of gypsum every couple of layers. That just helps the sweetness of the soil. You'll see here I collect cardboard that's thrown out by businesses. I actually leave it outside in the weather to get wet and get a little bit funky. If you actually look through here, you can see mold in here. This was just dynamite if you can pre-wet and let it get a little bit funky. It's dynamite when you put it in here. It just speeds up that decomposition process. Yeah, 9 weeks, compost ready to go in the garden, into the veggie patch. 4 bays, recycled plastic that I got for free, cardboard that I got for free, and away we go. Hope you've enjoyed.